Good day everyone, my name is John Francis Asapoli and today we're going to discuss about performance assessment test. So without further ado, let's start. So first we are going to tackle about what is performance assessment test. Performance assessment engage students in activities and tasks that require application of knowledge and skills through creating of a presentation or product. Performance is shorthand for performance based or performance and product. Can be simple or complex. Example given is keyboarding skills or creating a remote controlled machine. So from this definition of performance assessment test, we can already have an idea what is it really all about. So in other words, performance assessment test is different from paper to pencil test. Performance assessment requires both knowledge and skills or both efforts from one person so that they could generate a result or product. This performance assessment could also be used by a teacher or any evaluator for them as a basis for them to formulate their grade. Performance assessment is an alternative assessment, and authentic assessment cannot be used synonymously with performance assessment test. So alternative assessment and authentic assessment should not be used together because they are different from each other with performance assessment test. So what is alternative and what is authentic assessment? Alternative assessment is any method that differs from conventional paper and pencil tests. So just like what I said before, or just like what I said earlier, alternative assessment is different from the paper and pencil test. So this is not like the common test like most teachers do in their class. This alternative assessment is also known as performance assessment test, where it requires efforts from a student for them to have a grade, or for them a teacher to formulate a grade for them. Authentic assessment, on the other hand, involves direct examination of a student's ability to use knowledge to perform a real life task. The use of paper and pencil could fit into the authentic assessment test, wherein it only utilizes our knowledge and not our skills or our efforts. So moving on, the characteristics of performance assessment is in performance assessment, students can explain, students can justify, and students can defend. Students also have reasoning skills. Students also uses engaging ideas of importance and substance, and typically no single correct answer because performance assessment is based on their skills, and every student is diverse and every student has their own capabilities. Performance assessment also requires sustained work, or what we call effort. Performance assessment uses clear criteria and rubrics for scoring. Performance assessment also enables students to perform, create, construct, produce, or do something. So this performance assessment is preferably my own personal grading criteria, because in performance assessment, our students or our learners could grow and could utilize their skills, not just their knowledge, in order to have a creative product. Authentic assessment must be a task that is realistic or outside the classroom. It can be performance based or formative. It typically is cognitively complex, requires defense of an answer or product, includes collaboration with others, has known scoring criteria, uses multiple indicators for scoring, has a mastery, criterion reference orientation. So this authentic assessment or this authentic evaluation, this is not the typical examination that we do usually inside the classroom. Authentic assessment can be done outside the classroom. It can also be a performance based. So it requires all knowledge and skills as well when we talk about authentic assessment. So benefits to using performance assessment: learning occurs while students complete the assessment. Teachers interact with students as they engage in the task, prepare students for thinking and reasoning outside of school. Students learn that often no single answer is correct. Students value the task. So what do you mean by learning occurs while students complete the assessment? So this is actually of the great advantage of performance assessment, because while on the process of making the product, students or the learners could learn what they are doing. Also, a teacher or an instructor could interact with students as they engage in tasks. So when a teacher interacts with the students could also have a great relationship with the teacher or the instructor. Also, to instruct or also the students could also ask questions if they have trouble understanding a certain product or a certain object.